Hello, everyone. Greetings, greetings, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I'm joining you from Tuscany still. This is the last day, the fifth day of our there, perfectly timed. Here's, oh, okay, we get lots of bells at the beginning, the 4 p.m. So lovely to be with you and share these teachings about Sangha, about community this week. Excuse me. Sharing the teachings and feeling into the importance of community, of spiritual friends, and not just our receiving of community, which is where our mind goes usually, but how can we be a a caring, kind, beneficial member of the community? So we've been covering different themes, different aspects this week, and today I wanted to speak about the the 6 principles of cordiality. And the Buddha talks about these 6 principles, and yes, the Buddhism has a lot of lists. The Buddha loved a lot of lists. I love lists. I hope you love them too. And this particular list of 6 principles of cordiality are from Anguttara Nikaya 612, the Sāraṇīya Sutta, the Sāraṇīya Sutta. And a difference between the teaching today, that these are the 6 principles, and I'll mention them very briefly, and then I'll guide a meditation aligned with them, is the way we think, the way we hold others in our hearts and minds. So the 3 of the 6 aspects have to do with loving kindness, actions of the body, actions of speech, actions of thought. How do we think about others? Do we think of them with kindness? And and the other ones also have to do with sharing virtue, sharing views, this living ethically. Whereas what we covered yesterday, just to bring a distinction, was the 4 principles of embracing, the 4 grounds of embracing others. So there were more um, action oriented yesterday. We talked about generosity, dana. We talked about kind speech and uh, service, acts of service, as well as embracing others with equality, with openness of heart, with seeing them on the same level as I. So nuances in the teachings, and maybe I'll expand it further. So without further ado, the guided meditation today, as we settle, after we settle in the body, of course, mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the breath first, and then inviting some of these principles of how do we hold in our hearts, ourselves, others, these principles, ways of being in community, ways of being in community, practicing ways of being in community. So with that, let's sit together. So landing, arriving in our bodies, arriving in this moment in time. This moment as it has never been and will never be exactly like this. And can we arrive in the body, relaxing, softening. The shoulders, the neck, opening the chest a little bit, as if we're greeting the world, greeting ourselves and this human life, settling into our sit bones, taking our seat on this earth. Does it really feel like to take your seat in this moment in time? Really take your seat in the midst of this being human. Just as you are, embracing all of you, all your beingness, taking your seat with confidence and humility, both confidence and humility. Feeling the connection of your feet, your legs with the earth, earth on earth. Connection of your sit bones. Let your sit bones soften, offer their weight to the earth. Relax, release. Allowing the breath to be received, relaxing and receiving the breath. Calming, soothing, settling each in breath and out breath. Any clear thoughts arising, taking us into the past, future. Can we see them? Can we see them with kindness, not with aversion? perhaps smilingly, and say, "Thank you. Not now. I'll come back to you later. Please come after I'm done practicing." Smilingly, knowing what the thought was about. And releasing, feeling the goodness, the peace of release. And settling with kindness. Right here, right now, where the heart and mind can be nourished. And now I would like to invite you, if you would, bringing to heart maybe one or multiple, if that feels more appropriate for you, friends, good friends, benefactors, maybe spiritual friends, maybe members of your community, Sangha, whether it's this community here, online, or a dear good friend you have who's kind and wise. Allow your heart to be free to invite anyone that feels right, feels appropriate. One, multiple people, one person, multiple people. Let your heart be relaxed as if you're sitting in a comfortable space, opening the door of your heart, inviting who feels appropriate to come and sit with you. Maybe one person enters into this chamber of your heart in this moment in time. Whatever feels appropriate. See if you can sit with this friend, these friends, part of your community, with kindness, with friendliness, in a space of goodwill. Very simple. Space of goodwill. Thoughts of goodwill permeate the space of the heart. Feelings of goodwill, well-wishing, friendliness. If there are phrases that want to come in naturally from your history of doing metta practice, it's okay. You can bring in phrases or just let it be wordless. Receiving and sharing goodwill, friendliness. Holding space of kindness, goodwill in your heart. For friends, benefactors, spiritual friends, community members, Sangha members. Make sure you are included too in this holding with goodwill and friendliness. Don't leave yourself out. It feels okay. Be expanding the heart to also invite folks who are practicing with you through this Sangha, through this community on YouTube. You might have never met them, but maybe their names have become familiar as they say good morning, good afternoon. Inviting them to this heart space, to this sitting space, this hall of your heart that you've opened, this open house of your heart. Letting them come and take a seat. All of us together, all of us, a space of goodwill, kindness, fostering goodwill for one another, for ourselves. This is the glue in Sangha, goodwill, metta. And thoughts, words, and actions. Stay with thoughts of metta, goodwill. Imagine all these beings from various places around the globe. This invisible network that connects us all, sharing goodwill. Like Indra's net, this invisible net where we give and receive this golden light of friendliness. Goodwill, friendliness, the benefit of the doubt, training ourselves in seeing goodness, seeing friendliness, acting, speaking, thinking with friendliness. And as we keep stretching, one last invitation. If there are people in your community, in your circle, that you're having a little bit of a challenge with, you feel stretched by, and they feel stretched by you, can you invite them to let them come and be in this space of goodwill? Not condoning the harm, but seeing, allowing their humanity. Including them in the goodwill. Perhaps with some relationships where there's been strain for a long time unresolved, it's time to move on and share goodwill. To move on from holding on, grasping to the hurt, not being so loyal to our suffering, moving on to possibility. And we allow and invite our heart to grow, to grow. Expand beyond what we imagine possible. And our sense of this being who is me, sense of ourselves, growing with it, expanding with it. In a human, earthy, humble, kind way. As we turn to bring this sit to a close together, inviting ourselves to be held in the community with kindness, with goodwill, with appreciation for having showed up, for practicing kindness, goodwill, aligning our actions with our intentions. May all beings everywhere know their own goodness. May all beings everywhere be kind to one another. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be free, including ourselves. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your practice. Mm. Mm. So nourishing and beautiful to sit with different aspects of friendship, community, and especially for me as I was practicing with you, it was really beautiful and heart expanding to imagine all of us sitting together, all of you, all of us, different places in the world, just really uplifts my heart. And yeah, so much goodness to uplift the heart, so much goodness in this community. If you've been coming for a long time, or if you're new the first time, you're part of this community because you're showing up, you've showed up. So taking a pause before a transition to the teaching. So, hello again and welcome everyone. So, today is the fifth and last day of sharing teachings, um, exploring teachings together on Sangha, on community, on friendship, how to show up, how to embrace others, how to be with others. Uh, Spiritual friendships and in spiritual friendship, how to be with others in Sangha, etc. So today I want to share uh, teachings from Anguttara Nikaya 612. And this is it- the English translation is the six principles of cordiality. Six principles of cordiality. And the name of in Pali, they're known as the sāraṇīya-dhammas, sāraṇīya-dhammas, which literally means the qualities that are worth remembering or the virtues that create harmony and endearment. So, in other ways, the the theme really is the how can we live together in with kindness, with cordiality in these six principles. Are ways that the Buddha instructs us, invites us to be in our hearts and minds, the way we share of ourselves and our mind space and heart space. And again, it's a little bit different from the teachings that I shared yesterday. And the teachings yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, um, where uh, basically what they are referred to as the Sangha Vatuni, the four Sangha Vatuni. And those four principles, those are known as the four means of embracing others, the four ways. And they're more action oriented. If you remember the list yesterday, again, Buddha loves lists. On the list yesterday was um, dana, generosity, acts of giving, sharing of resources and goodwill. There was kind and affectionate speech, peyavaja, there was beneficial action or service for the sake of others. Atacharya, this um, beautiful term, atacharya, beneficial action. And samanata, I'll say it again, sama, samanatatata, samanata. Some how many T's? Wait, hold on. I lost track of my T's. Na ta ta. Sama na ta ta. There we go. Sama na ta ta, which means impartiality, equality, which basically is this beautiful idea of embracing others as equals, not with pride, not looking down on others. That's the way to embrace others. So these ways of embracing others, again, with generosity, with kind speech, with service, and with equality, this open heart, um, being equitable, humble, fair, open. So those four principles of embracing others, beautiful teaching. Now, today, there's another way of seeing this, and the Buddha's teaching the six um, ways of the six qualities, the six principles of cordiality. And as I talk about them, and the six are, maybe I'll just mention what the six are first. So the first three of the six are loving kindness in bodily action, metta kaya kamma. So, metta in bodily action, practicing acts of kindness towards others, helping and protecting, non harming service. The second is kindness in verbal action, loving kindness in verbal action. In Pali, metta vachikama, metta I'll say that again. Metta kavachikama. Metta kavachikama. So kindness in words. speaking kindly, encouragingly, honestly, gently, avoiding harsh and divisive speech. And the third principle of the six is loving kindness in mental action. I love this one in particular, the teaching on this one in particular. This is about uh, thinking of others with kindness. So metta kamma no kamma. So silently thinking thoughts of goodwill about others, wishing them well in your heart, even if there's no outward expression of words or actions, but thinking about them in kind ways, giving them the benefit of the doubt. I especially love this one, is really the way we silently in our thinking, even when we don't see them, how we regard them, what we think of them. Do we regard others with kindness? So the first three of the six principles, again, have to do with loving kindness in action, in speech, and in thoughts. And so you see that loving kindness, really metta, goodwill, is 50% of these six principles, right? One, two, three have to do with different aspects of metta. And I love that the Buddha has unpacked it. It's not just, oh, go do metta. No, just go do it in your thoughts. It's there is this nuance of, oh, do it in your actions, do it in your speech, do it in your thoughts, silently. Again, putting so much emphasis on goodwill. And then the fourth principle here is sharing of material possessions, sharing material gains. Sa da ran bogi sarat. Ah, sa. I'll do it again. Maybe I'll put also these polys in the chat afterwards. Sa taran nabogi saradan sa. This one is a tough one for me. Sa daran bogi, which means sharing without reservations. By the way, it's good to have a sense of humor, of course, about oneself and the beautiful Pali language with all the diacritics. So this sharing of one's resources, um, it 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 creates a culture of a generosity, trust, non-possessiveness, and non-jealousy. So especially uh, in the Buddhist communities, when monastics, for example, monastics live together, the invitation or the teaching here is for them to be sharing alms foods with one another. So often only one monk goes to the village and gets alms food and brings it back and shares it with everybody else, to share medicine, to share ropes, to share all the resources that they have, which is very little. The fifth one of the principles is sharing ethical conduct, sila samanya. This one is easier to say. Sila, the word for ethical conduct. Sila samanya, sila samanya, which is sharing our ethics with one another, living ethically with one another. The five precepts, the five ethical trainings to live according to them with one another, which again ensures a mutual trust and stable foundation for deeper practice. Because when we trust that this other person is not going to lie to us or steal or take or harm us, this just automatically creates a sense of trust in the community. So sila sa manya, sila sa manya. And the sixth and the last one in the series is sharing of right view, which is ditti sa manya. Ditti sa manya. Ditti is wise view, right view. Sa manya is to share it with others. So here is about sharing this view, in this community, having, speaking from, living from, sharing the perspective that is that one that upholds wisdom and compassion and the various principles, wise view, the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path. It's basically this view of as if um, we had the awakened perspective, as if we had the awakened perspective in the way of, fake it till you become it. So living from that place, treating ourselves, living, um, and exuding this sense of this vision of a bigger sense of possibility, um, of ourselves and each other and community. So living, sharing that view with one another, not living from this small-minded place, but sharing, um, living from this higher, this more expansive place of our hearts, with one another. And again, when I say community, there's so many different shapes and forms to a community. There could be community of two, your spiritual friendships, could be the community of hundreds here online, etc. So many different ways to really consider the teachings on community. So So, and these teachings really allow for a non-visible field of safety and trust in the way that we interact with each other and with ourselves, and we hold ourselves. And there's so much more dignity, also the sense of dignity that arises for us as we live in this way. So I want to leave you with some reflections as I have every day of this week. So um, here are the reflections for today. Which of these six principles are most alive for me today, in this moment that I want to really take on and feel into today? Um, and how can I more fully support the harmony of my Sangha through conscious daily practice of these principles, of these six principles? And and here's a third. I'm particularly fond of this reflection I'm about to give you. Um, what might change if I silently held others with goodwill throughout the day? What might change if I silently held others in goodwill throughout the day? And maybe I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough, those three reflections. And I want to thank you all. Actually, and I want to thank IMC and also Gail for inviting me to share these teachings with you this week, and IMC for offering all the support to us in the background, and also a host of awesome tech support volunteers online who have my back and your back and really are supporting these teachings. And here come the bells. Maybe I can, let's see. Um, so, let's see. There we go. So you can hear the bells. And I also wanted to say that this teaching this week has been inspired by a book by Bhikkhu Bodhi, which is called The Buddha's Teachings on Social and Communal Harmony. I'll put it in chat. And also I'll put my website in chat, which is where you can find me. So, and I want to thank you at the end. Thank you so much to all of you for your practice, for your sharing, for being here, being online, practicing with one another, and being part of this community. And I just put both links in chat. Maybe I'll do it again. Here we go. So here are the teachings. Here's the reference to Bhikkhu Bodhi's book. There we go. And here is my website also. There you go. Great. So thank you all. Thank you so much for your practice this whole week. It's been a delight to be with you from here in Tuscany. especially with the bells. Okay, take good care. Thanks everyone. Be well.